What is up, epic people? I used to say bold leaders, and I changed the name of the group, so I feel like I can't say bold leaders anymore, but whatever. What's up, bold leaders? How are you? So excited to be here today with you on this training. I'm so pumped because you guys are going to need to take your notebooks out. If you're watching the replay, trust me, pause, grab your notebook, and start writing some of the things I'm going to teach you today, because this is really going to help you monetize your content. It's going to be so good. Hi, Jennifer. Let me just make sure that I am in the right group. Yep, it's all good. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jacob. My boyfriend just tuned in. Okay, so I'm so excited. If you're watching the replay, give me hashtag replay. And if you are joining live, say what's up. I know Jennifer is here. Hi, Erica. How are you, beautiful? So today's training is going to be loaded with value. You know, you guys, I bring the fire on these trainings, and today is not going to be an exception. So what I want to teach you today, and as I said, bring your notebook, bring your notepad, pause the video if you're watching the replay, sit down, grab a tea, grab something, because you're going to learn some shit. So here is what I want to tell you today. Now that you are showing up in the Expose Your Truth Challenge, you are showing up, you are creating content, I'm going to teach you what are some of the elements that are going to help you actually monetize that content, okay? This is going to be really important because the first step is, number one, building the courage to show up, right? And then once you get over that and you start showing up consistently, you end up realizing that your content is actually like the first touch point that clients have with you, that potential clients have with you. So it's really important that we start funneling and understanding, like, how are we going to turn those lurkers, those lovers, those followers, or those people who are interested in working with you, how are you going to actually, what's the process to get them to become a client, right? Hi, Rebecca, good to see you. So the reason why I want to share this with you is because I know what it feels like for all of you to be showing up and like deliver value. And you're like, okay, now what? Right? You're like, okay, but where are the clients? Where do I find them? How does this happen? And the truth is that it's not just going to happen by osmosis. It doesn't, like, sure, people are going to reach out to you, and that happens often. But if you just rely on people reaching out to you, then you're missing out on a lot of money in your business. And that's why your business feels inconsistent, or it feels unpredictable, and it feels like you're kind of just like hoping that people see your content. And then what happens is that people start overcomplicating their business strategy because they're like, oh my God, I need to go and create a funnel. Oh, I need to do a Pinterest board. Oh, I need to go and hire somebody to, do my Instagram engagement. I need to like also show up in, I don't know, freaking Medium and write blogs on Medium or whatever. And that's when you start feeling overwhelmed, and when things start feeling really hard. And client attraction is actually really simple. I like to keep it simple because I know that when you keep things simple, you actually do it. Right? And I know this because, trust me, I learned this the hard way because I used to be the complication kind of like queen, like funnels. I used to do a lot of funnels. I used to do email sequences. Like, raise your hand and give me some love hearts if you feel, or give me an emoji if you feel like attracting clients, it feels like complicated, like hard, right? Like you're doing too many things and it's not working. Like, it's no shame in the game. It's all good. So here's why. It's because you're trying either too many things, you are not clear on what is really the pathway, which we're going to talk about today, for your clients to go from hello to like, here's my credit card. And you're kind of trying too many things at once. And it's not really laser focused. It's not intentional, really. But at least you got out of your own way and you're starting to show up. So that's like level one. This is why the Expose Your Truth Challenge really helps you like all in break through that ceiling of like visibility, because you're like building value, you're showing up consistently, you're doing the damn thing. And then the next step is everything else that I'm talking about. Hi, Patrick. All right. So let's get into it. I have my own notes here, you guys, because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. So let me just preface this by saying that I know that what I'm going to tell you really works because I have helped my clients simplify their strategy. And now, identifying what are their current, like what are their strengths, what are their own way to monetize, to build that client path that is in alignment with their own skills, their strengths, their way of being. That is when things become easy, because there's no one strategy fits all kind of thing. Like all my clients, we have discovered a different strategy for each one of them. And I'm not saying this to brag, but really, I just want you to know that it is possible with like 3 simple steps, be able to have 100K months, which is what one of my clients has been able to do, having a wait list, being fully booked. Like those are things that are not out of reach. And they don't sell things that are money related. They sell things that are like sexuality related, that are like mindset related. And so it's totally a myth that you need to sell like money things in order, or that you need to become a business coach in order to make money. Like you don't even have to start there. So these things work for you even if you have a like intangible service kind of business, like where you teach like relationships, mindset, sexuality, things like that. Okay. All right. So let's get on with it. The first thing that I want to highlight is that once you start attracting, so you start showing up consistently. So the first thing that's really, really important that you have in your content for you to be able to monetize your content is you need to get really clear on your unique message for your brand. Okay. That is the first step for you to be able to actually craft content that is going to share with people 2 things: who you really are authentically, who you like, your values, your personality, what you stand for, your history, like all those things that are really important, but also how you can help people. Those are really, really important elements for your content, because if you're not clear on those things, then people are going to think that you're cute, you're awesome, you're empowering, you're inspiring, but they're not going to connect the dots and they're not going to see that you can help them with the problem. Right? So it's really important that you understand that having a clear message is the cornerstone for people to actually understand how you can help them. Otherwise, you're going to be relying on those random people that kind of reach out to you and they're like, I really kind of like what you're doing. Tell me more about that. Right? That's going to be like, that's going to happen randomly, but you don't want to rely on random things happening, right? Like you want to be able to predict how you can create content that is actually going to convert into leads. And then how are you going to connect with those leads eventually, right? And that all happens by having a really clear and concise message. Okay. So tell me in the comments if you feel like your message is clear. Like give me like a yes or a no. Give me like, I feel like my message is clear, or no, I don't feel like it is clear. And let me know why you think it's unclear. What are the problems that you struggle with when it comes to like articulating what you do in a powerful way that connects with people and converts into sales? Because I'm happy to answer your questions and coach you on that. So here are some ways that you can audit your message, okay? I'm going to give you some examples so that you understand like why this is so important and how you can fix it in your business. So I want you to ask yourself, if you were to ask people, like your ideal clients, if you were to ask, or your current clients or potential clients, if you were to ask them, hey, what is a problem that I help people with? Would they know how to articulate it? Simple as that. That's like a really simple way for you to be able to like write that down. Like if I like, can my ideal clients articulate the main problem that I help them with? That's it. And if the answer is no, if you go out and ask people, or if you in your heart know that the answer is no, then that's really good. Like don't feel discouraged, because now you know that this is one of the reasons why your content is not converting into clients. Because if the problem that you're solving is not clear for people, then they're not going to be in their minds, they're not going to understand how you can help them, right? Because you want to remember how the brain works when it comes to anything, when it comes to especially messaging. Life. This is how the brain works when it comes to everything. It always filters things through, is this going to help me survive and thrive? And is this going to help me like reserve calories? Because that is what our brains are always doing. Always looking for safety and seeking pleasure, right? Like avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. That's just how our brains are going to work. And so when it comes to your message, is your message able to communicate how is going to help your ideal clients survive and thrive in their lives? And is it easy to understand? Because if it's not easy to understand, they're not going to spend a lot of calories trying to figure it out, and they're going to move to the next person that's actually really clear in the way that they explain it, right? Jennifer says, so I talk about a lot about chakras and energy, and I sometimes feel like it goes over people's heads. Yeah, I can see how that might, especially because it's something intangible. And so it's really important that you have a way to tangibly like bring it back to the 3D and help people understand how this is going to help them in their day-to-day life. That's just one simple way. It's really simple. It's just an easy place to start, or like point of just an easy point of like starting your message. Like, how is this going to help them in their day-to-day life? Okay. And with things that are like, esoteric, like is even more important to make it more tangible for clients. So if you're not attracting enough clients or high-end clients, then it's important that's a great way for you to start auditing your message. Okay. All right. So messaging is super clear. And as you know, you guys, like that's my jam. I can totally support you. So if you're looking for support around your message, send me a message because I'm more than happy to help you with that. So that's the first thing. Is your message clear? Are you able to communicate, to be yourself, be authentic, but also help people understand how what you do is going to help them in their day-to-day life? How is that? Are you doing that in your content consistently? If not, now you have something to work on, okay? All right. So the next thing, give me tell me if that resonated with you and if you have any questions. Don't give me no numbers. I just want to know if that resonated or not, because I'm not going to wait for people to be like, give me number 2. I'm just going to go into it. So the second thing that I want to tell you about that's really important, that I see a lot of people missing this, is that they don't have an actual like pathway to build intimacy and connection with people, with their ideal clients, in order for them to then get on the phone with them. Like there's no pathway. You're kind of just posting and ghosting, right? I feel like a lot of people do that. It's like I post and then I'm out. And so I totally, listen, I believe in like posting and don't get distracted on Facebook. Don't like fluff around. But that's very different from posting and then just waiting for people to come to you. Yes, there's some people that are going to come to you, but if you don't have a clear strategy, then you're missing out on creating those intimate relationships with people that are going to make them feel safe and connected to you. And it's going to make them feel like you're not just waiting for people to get on the phone and give you your credit card, but there's actually a relationship that you're building with them along the way. And this is really important because oftentimes we tend to overcomplicate this. This is when like people think, oh, I need to build a funnel. I need to have like 20 emails that go out to my list to build like an epic relationship. You don't need to do any of that. It actually gets to be so much simpler than that, but you have to get clear on like, how do you want it to feel good? What are your strengths when it comes to relationship building? How do you like to show up? Like, what do you like to do? What do you hate doing? Because I think it's important for us to like the way we do business building, right? Like if you don't like the way you do it, then you're not going to show up. And of course, you have to get your brain behind it. You have to get your mind behind that. But it's important that you have a clear pathway and that you enjoy it, okay? Jennifer says, but my overall message is that I help female entrepreneurs create more clients, cash flow, and opportunities. Cool. All right. There you go. So that's a little bit more clear and more grounded, right? Like that is definitely more clear and more grounded. And so it's important that you then, like talk a little bit more about that, and like your unique approach can then be, whatever more internal work you do. Okay. Patrick says resonates. Woo! I'm so happy it resonates. Nice to see you, Patrick. Hi, Sergi, and hi, Belinda, Melissa. Hi. Oh my God, I love seeing you all. Okay. So what is that pathway that you have? And just think about that, right? Like just pause in a minute, like, and write it down. Like, what is the pathway for me to then go from content into like client booked on the call, right? Like it's so important because you guys, I know that so many of my like people who are here, you just want clients just to be like, oh, I just want to work with you right now. Like, here's my credit card. Yes, that happens. Is possible. It happens to me and my clients all of the time. And it doesn't always happen. You have to do your part. You have to work with the universe. Do your part and create the pathway for people to be like, oh, yes, this is great. So are you building those relationships? Where are you delivering more value? Like, are you guiding people to a container where you can deepen that relationship, where you can create content like the way that I'm doing it now? And like, are you able to then, do you have a step that is going to get them from from like now curious and aware of you and be like, I like this person. I think I vibe with this, to then feel safe and be like invited into having a conversation with you. And then once they make that decision, like what is the pathway or what happens for them to then show up to the call already like super like motivated, pre-qualified, and like in love with you. Because there's all these things that can happen, right? And it can just be so simple, you guys. And this is what I teach my clients. So if you need support with that, please reach out, because it doesn't have to be a 20 email sequence. It doesn't have to be technology. It doesn't have to be manual stuff that you do. If you have a lot, like, depending at the level of business that you're at, it's going to look different, right? But you have to have this no matter what level of business you're at. If you're starting out, then it's going to look a certain way. But as you evolve, the way that you build relationships, the way that you magnetize clients, it changes a little bit, right? The cornerstones are the same. What I'm teaching you is going to be the same at any business level. It's like, what is your message? Has to be clear. How are you creating relationships and intimacy with people? Like, it's so important. Businesses at all levels do it. It's so important. So it's going to shift and change, but it's important that you are clear and you can tell me, like, if you can't articulate the way that you take someone from stranger to client in like 10 seconds, you're overcomplicating it. I can help you simplify it, but it's really important that you keep it simple, because otherwise you're not going to do it and you're not going to feel inspired to go and actually execute on that plan. Okay. Let's see. Any comments? Let me know if this resonates with you. Is this helpful? I know it's helpful, but tell me, does this resonate? Thank you, Patrick, for telling me. Because I see that you guys are a little bit quiet, and I think you're probably just taking notes, which is all good, or you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, but like, drop me any questions that you have around this, because I really want to give you any coaching that I have on this. So what are the ways that you're building that strategy, that relationship with your ideal clients? And once they, decide to book a call with you, or once you have the conversation and they book a call with you, then what is happening, right? Like, what is happening? One thing that I want to pause before I move on to the next thing, which is the last thing, I actually want to go back to the previous point about a clear message. And I want to give you a really clear example of what it looks like to have a clear message that converts like that, or having a message that's not grounded, that's not clear, not clear, but it's not about people. It's not about the problem that you help them with. This is actually not about coaching, but look at politics, like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. You can see how messaging works at that level. Donald Trump, you can say that maybe he's not the best, he's not the most qualified person to be in office, but his campaign message was make America great again, right? That involves, that's about the people. That's about the problem. That's about how I'm going to help you transform what we're going to do, right? And it's about the people. It's not about him. Hillary Clinton's message was, I'm with her, all about her. And they didn't really talk about the problem or the transformation. And so what happens is you could argue, of course, and I'm not going to get into politics here, but of course Donald Trump is not the most fit person for office. He's probably not the best, the most talented, like, we can all agree on that, right? But his message was so clear that it cut through all the noise, and it landed with people. It was like, oh, I get exactly what we're going to do. And he has this way, you can study it, that he's able just to articulate things really easily in a couple of words that just cuts through the noise, because he keeps it simple and clear. Doesn't mean that he's the best. Doesn't mean that he's doing it doesn't mean any of that, but he's a great communicator, right? Whereas people in politics keep everything so complicated and then nobody understands what's going on. Like, he talks about, like, this is a hoax. That's the message. Whereas people in politics are like building this whole case. And so this is what is powerful to see, how clear messaging can really help people who maybe are not the most qualified actually get results. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping you, somebody who has a good heart and who wants to help people. I want to help you get clear on your message so that you can cut through all of the noise and actually stand out from everyone. But it's important for you to see how clear messaging really is so important, because it cuts through everything that all the confusion, and it really gets into people's minds. So really study those kind of things. Okay. So the last thing that I want to say, and then I'll go into questions, is the last thing that is really important for you to monetize your content is having a clear sales process that you freaking love, that you feel lit up about, that makes it easy for you to show up on a sales call and feel like you can connect with people on a deep level, and that you feel equipped to be able to guide them through the discomfort or like the fear of investing in themselves, and doing it in a really elegant way that is going to inspire them into action. That is so important, because it doesn't matter if you have the best content in the world, but if you're not able to really sit with a human being and be with them in that moment and like hold space for them, for their evolution and their transformation, and for them to say yes to themselves in a moment where they feel vulnerable and when they feel unsure, when all their shit comes up, it's so important that you feel well equipped in order for you to hold space and feel really confident in your ability to do that. So do you have one of those? Like, do you have one of those? And if you don't, if you're not attracting clients, then now you know where you need to get to work. Now you know what's there for you to fix and for you to really tend to, because that's really it. You just need those three things. You need a clear message, you need a clear pathway or a clear strategy to build intimacy and relationships with clients that fits your strengths, that you love, that feels good, and that converts. And then you need to just be really good at creating a safe container for people to make a decision. That's it, right? Like, that is a pathway to get clients. You don't need to wait to build a website or a funnel or any of that. None of that is necessary. Listen, I have a website. I love it. I love my brand designers out there. And I really think that is important if you want to elevate your positioning to have a website, but it's not necessary for you to bring cash ASAP. Okay. So, you want to stable clothing. So I'm going to get to questions in a second, but I want to finish this with the sales process, okay? Because it's so important, and it's actually the easiest thing. When you have a clear message and people are sold in the sense that they love you, they trust you, they're like, fuck, I vibe with this person. I love what they stand for. They're being authentic. They're being real. They're showing me how they're the authority, how they can help me. I trust them. I like them. I vibe with them. I'm curious. That's really important, okay? Because if you're trying to sell, like make sales by reaching out to people, being creepy on like DMs, and you're forgetting about relationship building, then you are missing the point of what marketing is all about. Marketing is all about creating connections with people, connecting with them and showing them that you can help them, right? Like it's like selling, but it's selling the what. It's like, what can you help with and who you are, right? When you actually sell in your sales calls, you really are connecting with them and helping them see the transformation that they can experience in your program, right? And so by the time that you have someone on the phone and you're able, they come to you and they're like, I love your shit. I love what you stand for. I totally get it. Then your sales are so much easier, because you just got to kind of figure out the details, right? You're like, they know you're the person for them. And then you can actually get to what needs to be talked about, which is whatever fears may come up as you reveal maybe the price, or as you tell people what the investment is or whatever. I like to tell people what it looks like to work with me even before they get on the phone, so that they're ready. That's just my approach, because it's just, I love transparency and I just don't want to waste anyone's time. And also, there are times even when people say in my intake form, like, I'm not ready to make this investment, of course I still want to talk to them, because I want to explore what other ways we can work together, or if there are other ways that I can support them, right? Like, I'm still going to show up for people if they're interested in getting help, right? But it's important that you have a pre-qualification process and that you know how to handle those sales calls. So if you don't know how to do that, it's really important that you know, and I'm going to give you a sales tip here, like the things that you need in order to convert a sale, convert somebody from like a lurker or like someone on the phone to them becoming a client. Keep it all about them. It's not really about you. Don't talk about your program. Like, it's 10% where you need to talk about the program. It's all at the end. It's all about discovering where they're at right now. It's all about connecting with where they're at, where they want to be, what's going to help them get there. And then if it feels like like you can help them, then you can offer the ways that you can work together, and you can be really clear about that. But it's important that you keep it about them, because I think a lot of people in sales, they make it all about, like, you come to the call, you're nervous, you don't know what to say, you don't want to fuck it up, and then you're all in your head, and then you're not being with that human, you're not being in their world, and that's just the most important part. So I have an entire sales process that I teach my clients that gets them 80 to 90% conversion rate, and it feels really good, and they get clients who pay in full all of the time. Like Jessica, every single one of her clients pays in full, and she used to sell $200 products, and now she's selling like $6,000 packages to the same audience. And it's because she's really understood how to handle her sales. So if you need help with that, also let me know. So if this resonated with you, I'm going to get to the questions in a second, but if this resonated with you, you guys, I want you to stick around for just a second, because I want to offer you the opportunity for us to get together and talk and figure out where in your business are any of these three things out of alignment, and how can you get back into alignment for your business so that you can start attracting those clients even before the year ends. Because these are the best months of the year. I know a lot of people are slowing down, and some people say, oh, December, November, everybody's on vacation, it's all done, like I'm just gonna plan for 2020. But listen, it's possible for you to have 2, 3, 4 clients by the end of the year, whatever your goal is. Right? But it's so possible for you to be able to fine tune some things in your business and start attracting those clients. There are people already in your audience, whether you have a small or a big audience, that are ready to buy from you. You just don't know how to turn them into a client. So what I want to offer you is the opportunity to hop on the phone with me to do a marketing makeover session where we go deep into where are you at in your business? What's going on? Which one of these 3 areas do you feel like it's not in alignment? And then what is it really going to take you to get there, to be able to sign clients this year? And if I feel like I can help you in any way, then I'll be more than happy to offer ways that we can work together so that you start 2020 knowing exactly what direction to go. Because the most important part when you create a vision, whether it's July or January, it doesn't matter, is that you understand why things are not working right now, right? Like having that clarity, having that like, oh, this is why things are not working. Oh, and this is what I need to do instead. That's when you're able to create a plan that's going to give you a different result. But right now you're probably on your own trying to figure it out. And you're like having that outside perspective. Like I even have coaches who can give me an outside perspective. So it's important that you don't try to figure things out just on your own, because there are some ways that people can give you perspective so that you have clarity that's in alignment with you. So that's what I want to invite you to. We can talk about what is it going to help you to get there? What is the plan? What are the obstacles? And then really, if I can help in any way, whether it's in my one-on-one or in my mastermind or in a 90-minute intensive, I have only 1 spot left for my one-on-one. All the 3 that were left for the year have been taken. So I have 1 spot left. And then I can also share about the mastermind if that's something that maybe feels really exciting to you. So I am going to get to the questions. And by the way, I'm going to drop the link here so you can book a call with me now. And what I'll do is I'll send you just like a little questionnaire so that I can understand your business more and we can just get to work on the call. Because I don't like to waste time like asking, like I want to know your business. I want to understand where you're at, where you want to be, what's in the way of getting you there, so that by the time that we get on the call, like we can just get to it, right? And by the end, you're just going to walk away with a strategy that can actually help you. Whether you work with me or not, my intention is that you gain clarity. That's it. Like, I'm not attached to like, oh, you have to sign up. It's nothing about that. It's just for you to really gain clarity, because my biggest purpose is just to get people like out there so that they can start attracting clients, because the more money you make, the more money other people make. The more money we all make, the more money we'll make. The more prosperity, the more abundance that we're all in, the more that we can help other people, right? And you're also freaking gifted. Marketing shouldn't be the thing that gets in the way of you getting clients, right? So book a call with me now. Go and get your slot. And let me just answer the questions here. Can you provide an example of creating a pathway to build intimacy and connection? I have my Facebook group where I build a lot of intimacy and connection, so that's where I tend to funnel my ideal clients to. That's a great way of building intimacy and connection in a Facebook group. 100%. I definitely approve of that. Then if you're not converting clients to from that group, then there may be something that's like out of alignment. So if you want to chat and we can look into it and go into the details, that's definitely something that we can talk about. I definitely love having a group. You don't have to have a group to build intimacy and connection, right? Like you can just have your Facebook profile and you can deliver value there, but it's important that you know that when you have a container of something that you own, whether it's your email list or whether it's your Facebook group, whether it's something else, right? Like you can do an event, like it can be something in person. Like I have an event. I believe in having like 3 drivers of marketing. So I have things that are online, right? Like I show up online. I do like conversations with people, and then I also have offline ways of connecting with my people, right? Because your energy connects with people, and like when you're in person with somebody, your energy connects with somebody, and just much different than like online. Like I totally get you guys vibe with me here, or like we can vibe, you can feel my energy, you like kind of like her, I don't know about that, what is she wearing? You can have all your thoughts and you'll be like, oh, I kind of like what she's saying, or oh my god, I really love what she's saying, or like, she's not for me. Like whatever that is the best way to kind of break that. Like writing is okay, it's great, but then video is the next level, and then in person is the next level. So if you vibe with doing things in person, and maybe like doing video, maybe doing writing is not your thing, then you gotta leverage that, right? Like you gotta find the thing that really works for you, because there's no like one size fits all, right? So it's important that you find a way that you build more intimacy. So I have an event here called Real Talk and Rosé, and I just created this event for female entrepreneurs, because they're my people, to come and share, literally do my favorite things. Real talk, which is, I'm all about that, and then drink rosé. And so we get together and I facilitate that event, and it just brought me so many connections, clients, and just people that are just totally my vibe. So it's important that you leverage your own way. I like to do those three drivers: online, like actual connections with people, like conversations, and then also offline. So you just gotta find whatever works for you. Okay, Sergi, is that how you pronounce your name? I own a sustainable clothing company, and even I resonate with what you're sharing. Oh, I love it. You know why? Because these are principles that apply to any business. This is not just for a coaching business. I can go into a real estate. So I do consulting for a real estate company, and I've given the same principles to their company, and they're a $50 million company. Like, this stuff is not just like shit that I pulled out of my butt. This is literally business principles that, yes, I have implemented, but I have learned also from seeing other businesses operate, right? From seeing an architecture business, from seeing a real estate business, from seeing other businesses like brick and mortar businesses. All these cornerstones, you have to have a clear message. You have to have a pathway to create intimacy with your clients. And all hotels do that. Hotels, everything, right? It's like you have to have that. And then you have to have a really clear sales process that feels really good, right? Like all businesses have that, but this is really important to fine tune it so that it works for your own business. Cool? All right, my loves, this is what I had for you today. So valuable. Make sure that you go and book your call with me, because I only have a couple of spots left. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, there's only one spot left at the price from this year. Like once we start 2020, that's going to go up. And so please, if you're curious, make sure that you book that call so that you don't miss out, because once it's taken, I literally just signed one client yesterday, and there's only one spot left. So if you feel curious, if you feel the pull, if you're like, ooh, this feels like it's exactly what I need, remember, I help you with your messaging, identifying what makes you different from everyone else, articulating your brand message. Like, we literally build this together. This is going to be like, I got certified as a story brand guide, and I'm able to help you create like your brand story script, which is literally the cornerstone for you to be able to communicate what you do for people in a really clear way. And you can use that for your videos, for your content, for your website, for all your marketing assets, so that is really clear and is, what is the word for when it's all the same? Like it's all, anyway, I can't remember the word, but when it's all, consistent, like your message is consistent in all your platforms, right? That way you have to do less, you don't have to work more hours, you don't have to like do all the things. You keep it simple, clear, simple, and easy to execute, because that is when you're actually gonna get results. So I help you with that, help you crafting your offers or optimizing them, pricing them, and really stepping into that level of your pricing. If you're raising your prices to 5, 10, 15, 20K, like my clients have 5, 15, 10, 20K offers, and they go from offering things for like 1,000, 2,000, and we help them really go to that next level. And then I help you really build that client pathway. And then I teach you my sales process, and then you can obviously adapt it to what feels really good to you. So if that's something that you feel the pull, send me a message or book a call with me, and then we can have a chat and explore. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and keep going with the Exposure to Challenge, because truly, you guys, is like the foundation, is the first step. So I love you all, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.